Isn't this episode satisfying? Is it completely satisfying? Imagine you, and you've probably already been in a situation where if you're in a company or a group and everyone's looking down on you for God knows how long, and everyone else has this high prestige, have their heads so far up their ass they can't hear a damn thing that's going around them. But they screw up so much, and you have to clean up their mess, and you have to take so much of their crap over and over again until finally the higher up is like, something's not right here. What the heck is going on? Then you can turn around with a smile on your face saying, it's his fault, it's his fault, it's his fault. I did my job and then some. I cleaned up their messes. That's exactly what happened in this episode. You know, like I said before, Isaki and Rin being alive was a no-brainer. Turns out they were investigating when Nafumi gave them the emblem, and it turns out it revealed a very interesting weapon. It was pretty much a weapon that can replicate the 4 powers of the heroes, in a way. And it's a very powerful weapon. However, it requires a large amounts of mana. That's probably the reason why it's a requirement to summon people from another world. So I'm guessing people from another world, isekais, have more mana to actually control these kind of weapons. So I guess people from that world can control these very powerful weapons. You know, the shield, the sword, the bow, and the spear. Okay, good to know. And as you can clearly see, every time he uses a weapon, whether it's for defense or offense, some of the followers pass out. But it's for their own fruition. That's what they want, you know. They are following the Pope. Now let's face it, the heroes suck. Don't put me, we know Nafi don't suck, but they see him as the devil, so therefore they don't like him because he's a devil. However, anything else, if it wasn't him being the devil, they would say, hey, you're an alright guy, but they need a scapegoat, so they want to blame everything on the shield hero. He is the scapegoat. Everybody else just sucks. They just completely suck, and we all know it, okay? Matsuyatsu, Ren, Izuki, they all suck in their own little way. So, let's just start off of everyone's faults. And I probably did it before in other episodes, but I want to do it again. It's not Fumi did it, and I just feel so good when Fumi just turn around and say, you know what, you did this, you did that, you don't even care about, and just spread it out. So let's start off with Motoyatsu, because he's the most annoying one of them all. Philo can't stand his ass. Like, you're annoying, man. The entire episode say, like, God, you're annoying. Your party's annoying. That girl's annoying. All of you are freaking annoying. And it was like this. Matsuyatsu, like I said, is a fucking white knight. He white knights to the point where these girls be using him, or just, and when they're done with him, they'll just throw him under the bus and won't even lose an inch of sleep at all that night. That's exactly what it is. This is why you should never white knight. Because when you white knight, you not only make yourself look like a total fool, but you're going to become a tool as well for them girls to be using. That, oh yeah, this guy is pretty dense. His sense of justice is so strong, we can manipulate him. And Motoyatsu's excuse was that he should always believe in his party members, even though mine wasn't his party member when all this shit went down. It was about trusting them. You were just blindly following them. In fact, she was giving out all the demands, and Motoyatsu was just following along for the ride. Even when he was coming to the village, trying to take over the village, or raise up the taxes in that village, not going to like hang around in, he was blindly follow along. He didn't think about anything, the consequences of his actions. He was just doing what the hell the freaking princess said. So he's a blind fool, like most white knighters, especially on the freaking internet. Now, he also did a thing where he gave the seeds to the villagers, and it really screwed them over big time. He did the most of the damage, causing a very infectious phenomenon. And now, here he is now, trying to justify himself. I'm like, yeah, you two messed around with Nafumi. You guys caused so much trouble for the country. You did the same thing. So stop trying to backtrack. You in this boat too. You in the sinking ship, my friend. Okay? Now let's get on to Isaki. Mr. I want to be that hero who doesn't want to take the fame, credit. All he cared about was freaking credit. His own sense of justice. Where he took down that village, he took down the evil rulers of that village, but he didn't force his power as a hero to let the other people in power to do right by those people. But instead, just like I said before, just because you have power doesn't mean it's going to solve all your problems. It's like winning a war. When you do a war, you don't just fight off the bad guys and you go home. No, you got to do some rehabilitation on that ground. Set up some ground rules. You gotta set up a foundation for these people to live on, a new way of life, so they don't go out here just like, now what do we do? Because some people don't know how to lead themselves. They're so busy following the rules that were made out for them in life. They become sheep. But he knew that. Left them people in poverty and starving. Then finally, the one I'm not so mad at the most is Ren, the sword hero. I'm not that mad at Ren, the sword hero. He did do one stupid thing. And that's when he killed the dragon, he thought it would just disappear and shit. And it shows how people just do stuff and just leave it there when they're finished. They don't bother cleaning up after themselves. And when you don't clean up after yourselves, it causes ruin. For instance, I'm reading a manga from Girls and Panthers. They're saying you can't just use a bathroom anywhere you want on the battlefield because most people would die from other natural causes than will actually die by battle. So if you're just going around just use the bathroom anywhere you want to, you could contaminate the battlefield, the land, and it cause not only your enemies but also your own comrades to be contaminated by that stuff and they could die. That's why you gotta clean up after yourself. Or else you're screwing yourself over and your teammates. So Ram didn't think that through. But you are forgiven. But this is not a video game, it is reality. So imagine he has his teammates and one of them just dies. I wonder how he'll feel about it if that is the case. If he only sees it as only a game. So you need to get that thought process out of his mind right now. I don't know how the hell Masayasu still able to be so okay with mine. Still, people keep telling him that she's been manipulating him and also lied on Nafumi. I'm surprised you're okay with that. I don't want to hang around with you, man. Fuck that. But he needs them in order to fight off the Pope. The Pope is also using the people. But then again, the people are following the Pope. But because the Pope has this high form of reputation, same as the heroes. People will listen to the heroes because they're the heroes. That's what they were told to do. Same as the Pope. So they'll blindly follow these people through blind faith. That's why it's up to your responsibility of that kind of icon to do what's right. But unfortunately, they didn't do that. They were just thinking about themselves, doing their own thing. Hell, they could have taken out the waves much faster if they didn't be so selfish and so stuck up. Oh, man. And also, the Queen is coming. And the Pope just pulled out a freaking Bankai. It's a Bankai. I don't know what it is. It's a freaking Bankai. You Cathedral, Final Destination. That's a fucking Bankai right there. Where first it's just a sword, then they call the name of the sword, and then it becomes a new kind of a power and ability. And then finally, the final form of the power is called Bankai. And sometimes Bankais will be different. There'll be a power booster, there'll be an enhancement, or it could even be a giant form or something. Bankais are different, depending on the person in the sword. I don't know why I'm talking about Bankais, I'm just using an excuse as the Pope is using a fucking Bankai. But anyway, that's all I got for this review. It was a satisfying episode. Not much really happened, everything just stood in the same place. But nonetheless, it was still an entertaining episode, seeing Nafumi finally to say his piece in front of everybody. But nonetheless, he will work with them. And I'm looking forward to see how all this plays out on the episode 20. Which after this, they have 25, 6 more episodes after this. So I want to see how they're going to execute this so it'll end on the right way. And probably get a second season because, the show's going good. A lot of these good isekai have been getting seasons lately. I'm happy for that. So anyways, if you're enjoying Shield Hero and you like my content, like, comment, subscribe, and of course hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload. Madcrownxox, signing out.